every day there are stories of the day and whatnot. And even if you're not into them necessarily, you recognize them because of the buzz they cause, and that's where I find myself landing on the this soccer story where Landon Donovan apparently didn't make the World Cup team, and I knew I would come to Sports Sturm for my answers on this, on whether it seems like a pretty big deal.
No, it's a massive deal.
And
the great Donovan.
I don't know whether to see it as like this is much crying about nothing, or did this guy really not deserve to be on the team and all that kind of stuff.
Well, okay,
because he is the name that I know. You know, like if you know a little bit about soccer, you know Landon Donovan.
Yeah, and those of us who do care about soccer, and more specifically about the U.S. men's national team and the World Cup, and we were buzzing, a year ago for the snow game and for Dos a 0 against Mexico, and just trying to get to the World Cup. Now that they're actually selecting the 23 that have tickets to Brazil, it's a major, major deal that the soccer icon of this generation in this country is not on the plane. It gets complicated because it's not just taking your best 23. It's that point in a match where you're going to need somebody who has done it, and has done it more times than anyone who's ever been, part of the U.S. men's national team. I mean, Landon Donovan is, for lack of a better classification, he's Mike Modano at the end, where, he's not our star anymore. He can't do it. And then, by the way, Landon's 31 or 32, so he's not 40. But there's going to come a time where, we're down 2-1 with 10 minutes to go in the match, and we're going to look over at Landon and say, get in there and give us your best 10 minutes and see if you can equal this thing out. And
so he's not... So it'd be worth... If you had him on...
If he was on the team, yes. Would he start?
Would people complain and be like, "This is ridiculous that he's on"?
No.
And would he complain if he didn't play?
I don't think
if you have him on the team.
I don't think he's that type of guy. Well, we got it. What's important to know here, and by the way, I really recommend you watch the 30 for 30 series that's going on right now. What's the official name of it, Jake? I think it's Road to Brazil or something.
Yes.
Okay. Episode 1 will be replayed tomorrow on ESPN2 at 11 a.m. Episode 2 will be rerun tomorrow on ABC at 1 p.m. So you can get caught up, and it will pretty much bring you up to speed on the men's national team. And it's a really good series. Episode 3 will be new next Thursday night, I think. But
inside U.S. Soccer's March to Brazil.
Okay, inside U.S. Soccer's March to Brazil. So check that out. They're replaying 1 and 2 tomorrow. Their coach is Jurgen Klinsmann, who is, it's important to note, is he was the coach of Germany in 2006. He was the star player for Germany in 1990 and before that. He is a fantastic soccer mind.
What?
A little bit quirky, but a German.
I was going to say, though, why? That seems odd. I understand when other countries have us be their coach. Well, we don't need that, right?
It's now you're getting into some deep waters, because this is a major story in the soccer community. How, as a country, there's a is there an American that can coach us? And Bob Bradley was the last coach, and there's this prestige feeling that a European coach is just a little bit smarter about these things, almost like, every sport has it. The NBA isn't going out of its way to hire the next top mind from Spain to coach in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
So it's a weird deal where nationality seems to matter in sports on who runs the team and who understands this country and all that sort of thing. So Klinsmann, a German, is not necessarily impressed by a American icon, perhaps, who means so much to us, and really to me. I got to be honest with you. I understand not having Landon on the team, But I love Landon Donovan. And I don't love everything about him. It made me crazy that he didn't want to play professionally in Europe full time, because anyone with a half a brain knows that playing professionally in Europe is the biggest stage and where you can get the best. It's like Dirk deciding he wants to play in Germany his whole life versus leaving his homeland and going to play in the best league in the world. Landon decided to dip his toe in the water, but he never wanted to stay there. He wanted to play in California. That's his prerogative. It's his life. Despite all that...
Let me ask you this, because you use the Dirk analogy.
Yeah.
And if you're going to say that, that means Landon would go over there and be one of the top 5 players in that league. Would he have, or would he have gone over there and been another guy? And he chose to stay here
and be the man.
And he's the man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Landon...
But if he goes over there and he's...
Clint Dempsey went over there, and he wasn't one of the top 5 players in Europe, but he was very successful in England. A star is tough.
Because the Dirk analogy, Dirk could come over here, make $20 million a year, and be one of the greatest players in the league. He wasn't. If he had come over here and been one of the best 8th men.
All right, the two guys who came after Landon.
That's what I don't understand about I don't know how good Landon Donovan is.
He would have been
on a world.
He would have been a regular in England.
Okay.
Might have been one of the best players on Everton had he stayed there. He went on alone, and every time he went, he played very, very well. But then after him, Clint Dempsey and Michael Bradley both went to Europe, and they both excelled. And now they're back stateside here, but it's because they were paid so much money in the last year to come back that, and Dempsey just turned 30. He wants to raise his kids in the States, but he was successful in England, and Michael Bradley was successful all over Europe.
All right.
So Donovan would have been successful, but he elected not to. But that doesn't mean I don't love him. I love Landon Donovan from the 2002 World Cup to the 2010 World Cup. He is the hero. He is... If you love U.S. men's national team soccer, you love Landon Donovan. You just do. And so now if the question is, and by the way, this is the old Mike McDowell question, can you find 20 guys better than Mike McDowell? There's no way you can. He deserves a spot on this team. The Michael Sam discussion. Are there 255 guys better in this draft? So you want the best guys going to Brazil, and a lot of people are disappointed that Klinsmann did not take Landon Donovan as one of his top 23.
Now, is it...
Bruce Arena said...
Would they ever, in retrospect, say, what a genius move, because he put all the others on alert?
Well, there's, again, to go to the complicated things, yes, maybe, but the U.S. got put into the group of death, which means... The top 2 get out of the group, and we're probably the 3rd best team in the group. You could make a case we're the 4th best team in the group. You could also make a case we could finish as high as 2nd. Germany is going to be impossible to deal with. Portugal is better than us, probably way better than us, but we can deal with them perhaps. And then Ghana, we're supposed to be better than, but they've beaten us the last 2 World Cups in 2006 and in 2010. Ghana took us down.
Is there anything?
So odds are, with Landon or without Landon, we're not getting out of our group most likely, unless you want to be really homer.
So why not have Landon under that scenario?
Because this is his last hurrah, right? There's no way he's going to be competing for.
And how is this German guy in charge of that? Isn't there a committee? Isn't there a GM of the team?
No, you put a coach in charge, and he picks his players. And it's 3 matches, man. You have 3 matches, June 12th. I think... and
we're going to be happy if they're playing against Germany?
Dude, that's weird, too. By the way, they play Ghana the 16th. Then they play Portugal the 21st, I think, and Germany the 26th. So having Klinsmann against his own country is weird. But Landon won't be there, and it bums me out. And, I think it's important to note he's not anywhere close to what he once was. And... for his position, you have to have healthy legs, and he hasn't had healthy legs all season. He has not scored for his club team in Los Angeles this season, but in 2013 he was excellent, and you'd like to think, you could get 20 minutes out of him in a match where you need it. But they're going with the young legs. In fact, the guy who probably took his place is 18-year-old Julian Green, who has dual citizenship, German and American, one of those U.S. Army base kids, I think. And he had to choose which country he was going to represent, and a lot of people wonder, did he say, I'll play for the U.S. as long as I'm on the plane to Brazil? because if I'm not going to make your squad, I'll wait till I'm 22 and try to make Germany's squad. Once you play for a national team, you're done. You can't switch countries once you play. So he's 18, and was there a deal that if you pick the U.S., you'll have one of the spots on the squad? He's 18. People are not expecting him to make a great impression, but also being 18, he has legs that can go forever, and hypothetically late in a match, you want a super fast guy to put up top and cause trouble. So
at least Coach's son is cool about it.
Oh, thank you, Jake. To make matters worse, so here American Icon gets left off the team, and Jurgen Klinsmann's son, Jonathan, who is going to a U.S. university, I can't remember which, but he had a really unfortunate Twitter moment yesterday where it sounds like he's just totally having a laugh that Landon was left off the team. And it might have been a private message to somebody or something, but it got quickly deleted. But it's all caps, ha, 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 Landon. I mean, it's making fun of Landon Donovan not making the team. And it's the coach's son. And it's just a mess. In fact, his dad threw him under the bus and said that he owes Landon a distinct apology or something like that today. So it's a mess, man. Poor Landon. We, dude.
Do you agree or disagree with this then? Sports Sturm.
I'm kind of like you with Madonna. I'm kind of like, look, I understand that there's probably a better soccer reason to go, but because it's that guy,
he kind of deserves it. He has earned it.
And because no one has played in bigger matches than him. He has scored in the World Cup more than Messi and Ronaldo and I forget who the third name was combined. I mean, the best players in the world have not scored 5 times in the World Cup. Landon has.
But so this coach
Robin Van Persie's the third one?
This coach has no history with him.
Right.
He doesn't have a personal
And especially if
tie
you say that this 18-year-old probably won't make that big a difference this year.
He probably will hardly play.
Come on. What's the point?
Bad decision, Coach.
That's what I thought. So, here's to you, Landon.
Keep doing what you do, Playboy, and chase that money, okay?
And I don't know what this move does to the chemistry on the plane as they go down to deal with Ghana June 16th. So, there you go. It's 2:13. Up next, a little GBL on the ticket.
Broadcasting live from the AutoNation.com mothership at Victory Park. This is The Ticket. KTCK AM Dallas-Fort Worth. KTCK FM Flower Mound. A Cumulus station.